Malcolm X said black empowerment or else. Instead, many black folks went for integration, and it has failed us economically as the money and resources went to minorities, people of color, and all the people, but not specifically for black descendants of American slavery and Jim Crow. Malcolm X also said the ballot or the bullet. Instead, many blacks have opened up their buttholes just to have dirty money stuffed in it. Many of our black elected officials and politicians have been bought and paid for. That's why they do nothing for us as black people. They work for the white supremacists to help deny us wealth and resources and to put us in the face of genocide. These black elected officials should know that black people are in a race, which is called racism. We're supposed to be in first place in the first place. Hell, we built this country. But these black elected officials make sure the resources and tangibles goes to the white supremacists, the LGBT, and the illegal immigrants. Thank you, black elected officials and politicians, for declaring war on us by providing us with illegal guns and drugs. In this race, which is called racism, we're in last place, still running on a hamster wheel, while other groups like the Asians, the Hispanics, the LGBT, the illegal immigrants are running past us with the help of black elected officials to empower these groups over us. Thank you, Barack Obama, for being the first U.S. president in blackface. If Malcolm X was alive, he would have hated his guts. While as U.S. president, Obama gave the 100,000 Jews in this country that survived the German Holocaust $12 million apiece. Obama also gave the white-looking Native Americans as a group $492 million. Obama also gave almost $200 million to Philippine veterans of World War II to pay a debt. Meanwhile, what about the debt to pay black Americans for slavery and oppression in this country? Obama looked out for the LGBT and illegal immigrants and refused to put black Americans in a protective class against white supremacists who are killing us. Look at what you did, Nation of Islam, for pulling the actual trigger to murder Malcolm X. This has set black people's rise to black empowerment back another 200 years or more. If alive, Malcolm X would have taken the case of reparations and human rights violations against the U.S. government to the United Nations. The Nation of Islam had a chance to follow Malcolm's path and redeem his murder, but in 2021, there is nothing on the agenda. Some words for Black Lives Matter, as Black Lives don't matter if you're not talking about black empowerment, 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 empowerment. That's why there's a need for tangible benefits and resources. Thanks to our politicians and black elected officials, they have exploited and extorted our own people to finance other communities. Somehow we have accepted our own genocide. Let's start to own and stop being owned by our enemies. Let's be incorporated and start an LLC and save money and buy up land and businesses and call it our own. Now that's black empowerment. Computer programs such as coding, cybersecurity, web design classes, cell phone repair classes, and robotics are needed to keep the youth off the streets and gain professions and companies for future black empowerment. Come on, you punk black officials and politicians. Where are the code ninja schools and the black neighborhoods to prepare our kids for the future of technology? But we have rappers and rap lyrics. The order of the day for most rap lyrics are drugs, money, sex, and violence. Gone of the days of real music like Love and Happiness, Let's Stay Together, Keep on Pushing, This Is My Country, and I Found Lovin'. Today, our music is weaponized against us. Biggie was a hero to the grassroots, as the politicians and college educated were so indoctrinated in white supremacy. It seems like these folks can't relate to the youth and the streets. Biggie came from nothing and made something out of himself with limited resources. Many of today's young people don't know Malcolm X, only heard of him through their elders or grandparents and YouTube videos. The young people want to relate to today's leaders, which unfortunately are the rappers, which represent today the voices of the grassroots who are unheard. Many of the new generations of black folk believe Biggie was black empowerment, which was really a Jedi mind trick to believe in nigga shit. Remember, Malcolm X spoke out on our entertainers becoming our leaders, but today our entertainers and rappers are also weaponized against us. To the establishment, Biggie was a symbol of the prison industrial complex, which was a white supremacist agenda to lock up black people for drug crimes, regardless of using or possessing drugs. How dare you, Joe Biden and Bill Clinton, for putting forward the 1994 crime bill? If Biggie had the correct resources and tangibles as a young man, maybe he wouldn't be out in the streets hustling for his daughter or being used as an agenda against our people. Today's streets and grassroots have been infiltrated by the coons and foreign backstabbers. It's the reason why we haven't progressed since the death of Malcolm X. I'm guessing cable, Wi-Fi, internet, and wireless is making our folks happily walk back on the plantations to chattel slavery again. We must rid our race of coons, backstabbers, and sellouts by brain knowledge of our own finance and cryptocurrency investment, so that we can look at today's rappers and entertainers as jokes. Malcolm X said the ballot or the bullet, not the butthole. With only two choices, the ballot or the bullet, please choose one. The revolution remains. We can do this by any means necessary.